Hey friends, hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the EU caster feedback is what I'm going to call this, I guess. Let's get off this screen. So I've clipped out 6 clips that I want to go over. And I want to talk about just about casters in general. And before I get started, I have to preface this with, first of all, I'm not singling anyone out. Like let's start with a thumb. I think the thumb looks best. I'm not singling anyone out. So whenever I go over these clips, I think most of them are from the same series or from the same 2 series. And I really don't want to say like, oh, this is one caster, because honestly, I haven't really focused on who's talking, more so as what the content's about, and just talking about stuff that's happened with every caster. It's not just these casters at the EU Pro League finals. It's every single caster, honestly, that just cast Halo. It seems like there's a common principles of problems. Like everyone has these problems, and while one or two may not, like it's just tendencies that we need to get rid of, in my opinion, in the caster world. Two, I'm gonna rustle some feathers. I'm not gonna take this lightly. I'm not gonna say, oh, it's okay. Whenever I do the rider review with a lot of the people that I go over, I'll say, oh, it's okay. I'm not gonna do that with this video. I'm gonna strictly say why it's bad, why it should stop happening, what you should stay instead, and I don't know. Like I'm not quite sure if I should be handling it like I will be, and I would like feedback on my feedback. If you guys don't want to see any more of these videos because I'm being rude, let me know so I stop. All right. And yeah. So again, these are things that every caster does. Don't take this to offense if you're the one talking. You don't have to respond because I'm clipping it out solely because this happens with everyone. NA, EU doesn't matter. A lot of people say these things, and it continues to happen. So without further ado, let's go on to clip number 1.
As many hit markers as he wanted. Oh, and he catches the edge of the cave, and Vero narrowly does so. Maintains his
Let's turn this up.
Make sure it almost certainly would have been shut down. Now we're all tied up 16-16, just like that. So great counter there from BWS.
Yeah, and I'm really liking how Rights is actually rotating back to red, just making sure all of the Prophecy players are stuck inside that blue base, so Rami and the squad can continue wreaking havoc. We'll swap over to Ramirez over here.
All right. So what happened right there is the player who had riots, he went from blue to red to get into this little spot. This is a really good spot for players to be in, especially if you have one rocket left. You're not afraid of dying with it, but at the same time, you're putting yourself in a good position in order to get the kills. The caster is saying he's blocking spawns, and this might be the caster giving him the benefit of the doubt, saying like he might know what's going on, but I would I would think that the better response here, and again, this happens all the time with casters not recognizing the situation correctly, is that this player isn't looking to block spawns, he's looking to get kills. And instead of saying, oh, he's blocking spawns, you can say, oh, somehow they spawn at the other base. That seems to be a mistake on their part because Riots could have been in a good position with these rockets coming in from corner side. That's what you would want to highlight here, not the fact that he's blocking spawns, right? And you could hear it in his voice a little bit that he's like, he didn't want to say what he was saying, but this happens all the time with every caster. Every caster has this problem where it seems like from a pro's perspective, it seems like they don't know entirely what's going on in the game. And I've been in the caster booth. I know you get stumbled, like you have to focus on creating a show, but at the same time you can't be wrong that often. And oh yeah, before what I wanted to say before I started this is that I didn't watch the entire event. These are clips taken out. Like I watched like a series and a half, and these are the clips that I had taken out. So I'm sure it happened more, and I could have had better examples, but I didn't want to go through everything and just like focus on solely clipping out things. I just wanted to do it while I was watching, while I had the time to watch. So that's clip number 1. Clip number 2. This one frustrates me the most. Not the most. I mean, it frustrates me equally, I guess. Let's listen.
Can stay alive. No, he cannot. Rights will close it out, and that's going to be BWS taking game number 2.
Jeez, what a back and forth matchup. That's one of the. I mean, I've been casting Halo for a few years. That's undoubtedly one of the tightest Slayer matches I've ever seen and ever casted.
Really? That was the tightest Slayer match you've ever seen and ever casted? No. Like, we've got to start using better adjectives, better descriptions. I'm terrible at it. I will be the first to admit. Whenever I do reviews, whenever I do anything on stream, I'm pretty terrible at describing things. But this was not the tightest and closest match you've ever seen or casted. And the adjectives that you use, and I'll give you another example. This player is exceptional with the sniper. Actually, we're gonna come across this later. I remember I recorded one of the times where this player is the player that you would want to have in this situation. Fuck no, it is not. Like, you have players like like all of Envy, all of Optic, and you're gonna say this player right here is the player that you want. So it's the same thing here. This was the tightest match. No, it was not. Like, you don't say it like this. Oh, it was a good match. Like, good opponents fighting against each other. Let's see what happens in the next game. That's how you could go. That's how you could phrase it. But instead, you're saying like this is the tightest match. It drives me a little bit crazy every time I hear that. And again, if this was a one-off thing, no big deal. But this isn't a one-off thing. I clipped this specifically because I hear stuff like this all the time. Alright, so this clip is more of a personal opinion, and this is something that isn't like a bad thing that you got that is happening. It's just something that more so an analyst could talk about, and you could give an opinion and give people the idea, or give people the option of thought rather than just talking about what's going on in the game. So let's watch the clip.
The more confident snipers are not, not over aggressive with it. In fact, they're completely the opposite. They'll happily sit back at the BR base and they'll just chill and they'll be like, yeah, you know what? I'm confident I can hit the shots through the small angles, through the white corridor. I can just sit as far away as possible and just not, take any punishment for it.
Yeah, I gotta say, Ramirez, great play there. He got himself into a lot of trouble going back ramp as he ran into Lunny, but I believe it was, as he ran into, I think it might have been Flames.
Alright, so what happened here? They had 4 guys alive, all inside bunker with the sniper. And this is more of a strategical thing, and while they are up 3-1, they're owning, VWS are owning pretty hard in the series. I feel like this was a topic of discussion that the caster, one of the casters could have brought up, is they had the inside of the map with sniper, they got 2 picks, and instead of holding the inside of the map, they pushed to carbine, and then because they pushed to carbine, Buck 57 killed Chalky and Flames killed Lunny. And now the sniper is in trouble as the guy's chasing him down. So you could ask the question, and I don't think this gets talked about enough. Just like strategical wise, like doesn't get talked about because casters are just talking about like what's going on their screen specifically. Would it have been better to, after getting those 2 picks, to back up? I mean, you could ask your co-caster can talk about it a second, and then you can go on to casting the match. But instead, we're just like listening to people rambling on about stuff going on the screen, like, oh, close snipe, And that's something that I would like to see more throughout the games, the casters casting the games. I mean, more just discussion about the overall game rather than what's going on the screen specifically in front of you. Number 4.
They're not even rotating around to this pink side, so let's make sure they keep eyes on his camouflage because it's coming up very soon. And if they've even spawned on it, that's incredible. Simplay, that's an absolute gift. He grabs the camo. BWS have no idea. They do now, they've spotted him, but very, very interesting. Almost a misplay. It seems like they just completely forgot about the camouflage right there, did VWS. And as a result, Egoed gifted a free power-up.
Which is something I wouldn't expect. I mean, in these Game 7 situations, you can forget about power-ups because you do get nervous. You do focus too much on call-outs. I would really expect Egoed.
Is this a joke? Now this one probably pains me the second most. The next clip is gonna, I'm gonna, So let's go over the situation here. The players on the red team are in very prime positions to grab the next camo. 954, the blue team are sitting at car. Why are they sitting at car? They don't want to be at car, they're spawning there. The red team's forcing them to spawn there. And so instead of saying, look, the red team's setting up for the camo well, they're controlling the bases, and then after they control the bases, they can get the camo. Look, they're not forcing their teammates to, when that guy spawned pink 1, they didn't force him to spawn bubble because they lost pink control. They spawned pink 1 because they have the camo control. Blue team did not forget about the camo. This guy in red 2 is going towards pink 1 for the camouflage. The other team just can't get there because red team is playing it so well. And it pains me to like listen to these casters flame. Like, this is just unnecessary flame because the blue team is doing exactly what you guys said they should have done. They just couldn't because they're getting outplayed, and that's fine. But you can't flame them for getting outplayed, right? You can say, oh, the red team's playing well, but you can't say the blue team's not playing well, especially when they're doing what you would want them to do. And I just can't stand stuff like that. Now let's watch this clip.
Potentially, well,
Wait, no, this clip.
up right now, the Furod's already here. He's Simplay here. Is in position in pink 2. He has control of this pink tower, but Rights is there to contest him. But let's see if both teams actually remember this camouflage. It is coming up right now. The Furod's already up at top middle. Simplay still contesting with P2. Looks like a player below him. I'm wondering who that is. That's going to be Zer. So back-to-back camouflages. Once again, BWS completely forgetting it's on the map. Why? Remember.
But at the moment, they can.
What? How did they forget it was on the map? They're in pink 2. They tried to drop pink 1. A guy forced him back. There was a guy top middle that got killed, and then they got the camo, right? Like, the last two players respawned blue bubble and going into blue, going about pink. How did they forget the camo? Like, they didn't forget it. They just couldn't get it because the red team's playing well. I can't stand this stuff. Like, again, you're flaming the players for absolutely no reason. So, I mean, again, like that's the second one. Like this was the same game actually. This was just a replay because someone lagged out. Like, ugh, really? Come on, guys. Like this is what we need to like get away from. Really, that's probably the most painful thing is when casters flame players for doing correct plays, and it gets it into the viewers' minds that they're doing the wrong plays when really it's just the other team's doing good, doing well, and so. I can't state enough how much I dislike that. Hate it. Alright, and so this is the last thing. We talked about this earlier with the Bravo when he was talking about the best game. And this is the best player.
Potentially, well, essentially on the line. They could be a Pro League team after this one game, but Zer caught with his pants around his ankles once again. Will go down to the hands of Lunny. And Lunny's the type of player you absolutely want in a game 7, because a game 5, game 3, game 7, whatever it is, this man is always going to hit shots, and you can rely on it from him. His shot is just so dominant.
Honestly, yeah, from watching him, you can really tell he wants this. You can just tell from the way he's playing, the way he wants to survive, that the shot.
Alright. There's two things here. One, Lunny is the player that you want in a game 7. You could say he's doing well, but do you want him in a game 7? Compare, like, what, isn't this the, like, oh my god, this is the, what's it called, the relegation tournament. This isn't even the finals. I don't understand how you can say he's the player that you want in a game 7. I understand that you're trying to praise him and that you're trying to, like, create something to talk about, but in my opinion, that's just ridiculous, right? That's like saying, oh, RyaNoob is the player that you want with the sniper. I've heard that like 3 times in like one tournament, and I just miss like everything with it. Like, how can you say that I'm the one that you want with a sniper? Now you could just say like, oh, he has a sniper, he's had sparks of doing well, but not known for it. That's something you could say about me. You could say Lunny has a good shot. We're on board with him. But is he the player that you want in a game 7? Really? And then what was this? He really wants it. I mean, you're saying that as if the other players don't want it. And again, that's not something that is uncommon. This happens with everyone, right? Like you say, oh, Snipedown is running the flag. He is a great flag runner. He's someone that you'd want with the flag. The fuck? No, he's not. You want commonly with the flag. I mean, casters do well when commonly has a flag. Oh, he's the flag runner, you know? You want him with the flag. But you can't say this about everyone. And then on top of that, he wants it more? Of fucking course he wants it more. Who doesn't want it? How does he want it more than everyone else? Why are you bringing that up as a topic of discussion instead of talking about what's going on the map right now and how the blue team's pushing in, but Lunny's not able to help his team and they're just dying because of it? Like, that's what's going on the screen, not the fact that he fucking wants it. Woo! So again, I'm sorry I rustled some feathers there or whatever it's called. I really wanted to just get the point across while not being subtle. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you want more of this from other things as well. hesitated to do this video because I knew I'd either have to go hard or not do it at all, and I only did it because I did see some people saying that they wanted feedback. So here's the feedback. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know. Just comment and stuff. Give me some feedback on my feedback, etc., etc. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.